And welcome back to Dragon Ball Z What If? What if Trunks accidentally went back to the Red Ribbon Army Saga? So last time we left on Gero and 19 being destroyed, Trunks showing up telling him, those aren't the androids, and there's another problem in the future. But, as you can see by the thumbnail, I'm going to end this particular part on a very different subject. You've been wondering where Piccolo is going to be at. Well, spoilers ahead. But let's deal with the present for the moment. Trunks and Goku and everyone who's there, Gohan, Raditz, are discussing what their next move is. They gotta find Gero. They gotta find they gotta find the androids where they're being kept. Fortunately, coming from the future and probably having extra information at that point, Trunks, in dealing with the androids, and Cell in that timeline, Trunks does know where the 18, 17 are being kept. So they end up finding the location, and Trunks is just ready to nuke the place from the sky. Like, he's ready to just do away with it. Not quite understanding that the androids in this timeline are far stronger than they are in his timeline. To the point where, we'll touch on this in just a second, it might not be enough if Trunks blasts the place. But let's talk about that for a moment. We'll talk about that in just a second. Goku, however, pleads to them. They haven't done anything yet. I mean, they're monsters, Goku. You saw what they were. You saw the first pair of androids. They didn't even exist in my timeline. My presence here has already affected the timeline too much. We have to end this before it gets any worse, Goku. You really want to risk your wife and your son? And Goku is struggling with that. Raditz looks to him. He's not wrong, Kakarot. Look, I know you're a good person. You've grown differently than you would here on planet Vegeta. Than you would have on planet Vegeta. But there are times where there is no easy solution, or there is no peaceful solution. You saw what those monsters were like. You had to go to your final form just to defeat them. We cannot let if these androids aren't indeed stronger than the last, we cannot risk it. And Goku was just kind of hates himself for this. Like, this goes against kind of who he is. But he also can't deny what they're saying. They are making sense. Like, this, he can't let people get hurt just because he doesn't want to be theoretically a cold-blooded killer. But at the same time, he's being reminded these are machines, at least to his knowledge, they're machines. And so everyone's like, fine, but we can't risk the bet. No, we're only going to be attacking this. From what I understand, and he told them about Cell. From what I understand, Cell is in a sub-basement below the laboratory. So we need to blow up this entire building to sky high and beyond. And everyone transforms, and they blow up the entirety of Gero's lab. Now, the question I brought up a moment ago was, say if Trunks decided to do it on his own and just go ham on it, would he have enough power to do it? Because these androids are stronger than the canon androids, even in the original, which were stronger than the androids in his timeline. And it's a tough question initially, I thought. Because either way, they're all attacking. So yes, they're all, everything 16, 18, 19 are 16, 18, 17, they're all destroyed. But because, Ki versus Ki is a big thing here, but the androids don't technically have Ki, they have an infinite energy engine, which allows them to fire Ki Blast, which is weird. So I guess they technically have Ki. They are technically human still. But I think it comes down to the androids were inactive. While their infinite energy engine was still there, the androids were inactive. So it was probably doing the base level of power they needed to survive. And that was it. Otherwise, they should have been killed through that. And they are. And the day is saved. But Trunks also knows, let me rephrase that. Trunks also knows it might not be over. He sticks around, lingers. Everyone's kind of chilling at Capsule Corp, just trying to take it easy afterwards. Goku isn't just bummed he didn't get a chance to the androids. That didn't sit well with him. This is something where Goku's not a cold-blooded murderer. He will kill, of course he will kill if he has to, but he's not a cold-blooded murderer. He kills only basically in defense of everyone else. To save others, he will take a life, not to just because But even then, he still likes to get individuals a chance. Trunks is like, Goku, I know, this wasn't how they wanted to play out, but we couldn't risk it. They're already your timeline's over, and you said those androids were as strong, if not stronger, than your base Super Saiyan form. That means these androids could have been stronger than your full power. It would not. There wouldn't, and you've already used up both your trips in the time chamber. And Goku just says, yeah, I guess you're right. Something just feels, I feel gross, or like I don't feel good about it. I can't really blame you. And they're all sitting there, hanging around until they get the news report that people are going missing and insert the city name there. I can't remember. I think it was West City, maybe. Either way, one of the cities. Add on the fact that Bulma says, Trunks, you sure this is the first time you've been back here since leaving? He's like, yeah, why? And they see the time machine, and he goes and investigates, and he sees the gross cicada thing, and they're all like, Cell, he somehow made it here, but that's impossible. I killed him on my timeline. And I knew something didn't feel right, but how did he survive? And then Bulma probably chimes in and says, well, multiverse theory. It's like, but oh crap, baskets. Multiverse theory, and he explained multiverse theory. I don't get it. And so they have to go fly off and find Cell, which ultimately they would end up finding Cell, or Cell would find them. And Cell would be shit out of luck in this timeline because the androids are once again dead. So ultimately, Cell would be put down pretty quick. There's no real need for to go in depth, especially when I have now cock-teased you all about this. So when does this and how does this take place? When? Halfway through the 7 years of peace, the alleged 7 years of peace. Now, several things to point out. Hercule's not the savior of the world. Very popular still, but not the savior of the world. Likewise, Trunks has decided to stick around because his future is basically, the timeline is more or less safe at this point. So he actually decides to stick around and help out with things. Help train Gohan up, make sure he's all he gets to the power level he needs to get to and keeps training. After all, like I said, Chi-Chi allows Gohan to train here because, again, I don't know why no one ever, writing, but I don't know why in like the story lore canon of the world, they never try to just give a compelling argument. It's like, yeah, but he's still got so much power. There's no reason he can't do both. There isn't. There really isn't. So yeah, and the fact that Gohan has saved the world not once, twice. He saved it twice, because I would just say not once, not twice, but he actually didn't save the world from Super Buu. Unfortunately, Super Buu became Super Duper Buu, Buu-Tanks, if you will, Buickolo, Buick-Tanks. I don't think there's ever been a combo name of that, by the way. Piccolo and Gotenks. Buickolo, let's see. Buickolo, I get that one. Buu-Tanks, I get that one. Buu-Tankolo? It's either Buu-Tanks, Buu-Tankolo. Either way. So they've been training for about halfway through that time. Now, what's happened in halfway through that time? Well, most of the Z fighters are now either doing their own thing, keep training, or retire and do something. Yamcha, for example, is a retired fighter. He's still an immensely powerful dude on the planet. Like, any normal human would get their teeth kicked in by him, but he's actually probably among the weakest now of the Z fighters in canon. Here, he's still very strong, but still, he has the baseball career, all that. Raditz, Gohan, and Trunks all eventually do hit the Super Saiyan 2 form. Like, they all, 3 years of training, especially with Goku there to help out. Yeah, I have no doubt. Gotenks is also born within that time because, he's there, she's there. Man, woman, wife, husband, conception. But yeah, Goten would be born. I do think Bra would also be born in this timeline too. She'd pretty much be not quite the same age as Goten or Trunks, but maybe like a year younger. Beyond that, though, is there any other power we can squeeze out of these guys? Well, apart from getting their base higher, I think the only one we could really squeeze any extra power out of is Goku at this point. Gohan, by the way, should know Gohan still has his tail. Same as Raditz, actually. Vegeta and Nappa really aren't going to be trying to mess with them at the moment. They're probably going to try to bide their time if they ever decide to mess with them. But Goku here, if this was the full 7 years, I think would have Super Saiyan 3. He's advanced that far in his training where I think he could reach it. I always disagree with the idea that he reached it only because he had a dead body. I think a living body can also reach it, hence Gotenks. I don't care about your magic. I don't care about the magic argument with Gotenks. If anything, just because he got to Super Saiyan 3 doesn't mean it was because of magic. It was because they had a lot of time to train. And if anything, Super Saiyan 3 drains the Metamorph fusion a lot faster. So there you go. I digress. Goku probably is knocking on the door of Super Saiyan 3 because he's had a lot of time to train. He's probably more just been honing a Super Saiyan 2. I would even say he's been trying to get maybe add a Kaioken on there, but the minute he does it, his body just goes into flux. I think at best he can briefly manage a brief a standard Kaioken. It's just too it's too harsh on the body. So, but that being said, even just a one-time Kaioken on Super Saiyan 2 alone is insanely powerful. That's a 250 times multiplier off of base. No, it's 100 if you want to talk about it. It's a 150 times multiplier off of base. Still insanely powerful. And so they are, they're enjoying the day one day. Goku and Gohan, Trunks and everyone. And all of a sudden, they hear an urgent cry from Kai. Goku, this is an emergency. It's like, hey, Kami, what's that? No time for that. You need to get to Piccolo right now. It's like, Piccolo? And there is, oh, yeah, Piccolo. Whatever happened to him? What? I mean, he's around in places. I mean, he's usually not that big of a threat or anything. Goku, this is no time. He's collected the Dragon Balls. And this is where Goku says, wait, what? What do you mean he's collected the Dragon Balls? He managed to collect the Dragon Balls. I don't know what kind of wish he's going to make, but if it's anything like if it's anything like what the Saiyans would have wanted, or Frieza would have wanted, or his father, it can't be good. And so, all right, do you know where he is? Yes, I'll give you his location. And they're getting ready. They fly off, and they're heading there, and they see the Star Clouds. They see Shenron there, and all of a sudden they hear "Your wish is granted," and boop. And then Shen's like, no. And Piccolo's there, and he's like, And all of a sudden, they're feeling power come off him. Serious power. Power like, whoa, wait a minute here. It's like, Goku, it's been a while. Been a while. How have you been? Good. What did you do? Me? No, I just decided to finally catch up to you. You, Goku. Unfortunately, with your transformations, it's been near impossible to keep even up to 1/10 of your power level. But I finally realized what I could have done ages ago. And what's that? He just takes off his weight clothes. I just don't have the dragon unlock all my potential. No. And by the way, my Piccolo impression isn't as good. Goku, yeah, that'd be more close to Piccolo. I'm doing a bit more of an evil version because this Piccolo isn't really a good guy. He's not as bad as King Piccolo, but he's still not good. Now I'm gonna take my vengeance out on you, Goku. And Goku's like, everyone stay back. I got this. Go Super Saiyan. Is that really all you can do? Really, you're doing that transformation you do again. Oh, you've definitely gotten a bit stronger. Perfect to test out this new power. And they clash and boom, and they're almost dead even until Goku starts to feel the pushback. Now, before we continue, how strong is Piccolo? That is a key question here because he's not as strong as the Piccolo we get in Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Not even close, actually. The reason he wouldn't be as strong is because he's missing half of himself. Him and Kami aren't together. We know for a fact that him fusing back with Kami increased his power drastically, and any potential he had unlocked from there would have also included Kami. Furthermore, the orange, I want to say golden, looks a bit more golden, but the orange Piccolo form, there's no real explanation Yeah, I looked into it before the video. There's no real explanation has been given as to where this form came from. All we know is Shenron said, "Oh, all of it plus a little extra or a little more," and so it pretty much granted Piccolo this transformation. But the question is, where and why? My best guess and the best theory I've heard is that this has to do with the connection to Kami, the fact that Kami is fused with him, and he is Kami, the original creator of the Dragon Balls. So that extra power and boost comes from that fact, is that, because Kami's in there, he is able to access that latent potential of the creator of these Dragon Balls. So that's the theory. I do like it, but that does mean that we don't have that here. So I have to kind of backscale a little bit and wonder, how strong is Piccolo even at this time in the series? Personally, and he doesn't even have Nail fused into him. Maybe it was a combination of the two infusing. I don't know. Personally, I would say he's probably a little stronger than his Namekian level of power, which is powerful. It'd be in, like, say, the low million area. But compared to where everyone else is in the story right now, it's nothing. But what happens when you unlock the potential at that point? Well, now, because Piccolo kind of got his ass handed to him a little bit by the Gammas, or at least, was it Gamma 1 or 2? I can't remember. By the Gamma he fought. But when he unlocked his potential, they were dead even. And then when he went Orange Piccolo, he beat his ass. Like, there was no contest after what transformed. So the level of power he would probably gain would be immense. I would argue he might be a little weaker than Boo right now. Which, granted, Goku and Gohan, everything like that. And I mean, like, Boo initially waking. Fat Boo. And so they're pretty close, but Goku is still the stronger, especially when he goes Super Saiyan 2. Piccolo gets blasted back. Piccolo, why are you doing this? Why do you have to just... You're asking me why? You killed my father, Goku. My father, he had plans for this planet, great plans, and you just ruined them. Oh, Goku's even like, get over it. He's like, I'm so... and Trunks, well, actually, technically it was Trunks who did it, but it's like, and you, Trunks, you think I forgive you for everything you've done? Like, oh, get over it, Piccolo. You weren't like this in my time. Your time. This is my time. My time. And the only thing that I want in my time now is revenge! And he powers up, and he turns into... I wanted to alter this to look like what I'm talking about in a second. I don't have the art skills for it, Sally. You'd think it would, but there's so much shading here that I don't have the art skills for it, sadly. He turns into an alternate version of Orange Piccolo. Because while we don't have Kami here, you can make the argument that the energy of the Demon King Piccolo could still be there. And so what we get is, I want to say, similar height, pointed antenna, a little less bulky. Maybe the ears are a bit more pointed and his fangs are a bit more pronounced. But red. That's looking like, almost like Deborah. But Deborah's more, it's like a pink red. He's like a blood red. His eyes are also blood red. I would switch that over to something like a purple. Something that would stand against it or contrast it. And he just deposits. And now, where does that Piccolo stand right now? Again, nowhere near as strong as this Piccolo. I would put him Mystic Gohan level, Super Buu level. Like, this Piccolo is here and he means business. And the power coursing through me. I'll have to be careful. And he realizes, this is the first time I'm unlocking this form. I can't be rash with it. I'm going to end you now, Goku. And Goku powers up as far as he can, even adds the Kaioken briefly on there. And he tries to keep up with Piccolo. By the by, I don't have power level. I don't do power levels anymore. If I were to say hypothetically where Goku stacks up against Piccolo at this moment, Goku is at best a quarter as strong as him. And it's not holding up. Trunks, everyone, they're Super Saiyan 2. They're at like Goku, Raditz, Gohan, everyone. It's basically what happened like when they attacked Broly in the original movie. Like it's just it's like, best you have fun. Just do. And they just go flying down. He starts beating on Goku. what was it, Buster Cannon? That's Trunks' move. Just and he grabs him, and he just grabs Trunks, slams him down. Something goes in the giant mode again. This is the end for you, Son Goku. For you, Trunks. Raditz comes in. Filthy apes, and there, Goku is trying his best, but he just can't do anything. They're struggling hard at the moment. Like, these guys are so outclassed. Piccolo also has been training on his own for a while, and this Piccolo would still be a skilled martial artist, like a true warrior. And he just grabs. All of a sudden, he grabs Gohan. Goku's like, maybe I'm gonna have to teach you a lesson. Gohan's like, Gohan! I'll have to show you what happens when you take family away, Goku. No, don't. Goodbye. And all of a sudden, his arm goes off, and just Trunks like, and he just something grows back, grabs Trunks. It's like, Trunks, and just blasts Trunks straight through the chest. Just, it's like, Trunks, and he goes, he just laughs evilly. Goku was able to solar flip, and Gohan's just always, Trunks, sorry, I couldn't let him kill you. Trunks, don't, hold on, we'll be okay. At least this time, I can finally return. I can finally pay back my debt, Gohan. And Gohan just powers up. Gohan just goes full on rage mode. Just gets there. And even though Piccolo's still stronger, Gohan's rage boost is insane right now, and he just pretty much breaks Piccolo's jaw. Just, you little, and they're just clashing. Those going back and forth. It's like, what are we gonna do? We got to use the Dragon Balls. We can't kill him because we need the Dragon Balls. What do we do? And Rad's just like, Kakarot, I have an idea. Hold on. And Raditz gets the stasis pods. Where'd you have that? Bulma said to keep some on call just to be safe. You never know what could happen. I have an idea, but it's gonna take both me and Gohan. Wait, you mean yes? I don't know what will happen. Worst case scenario, remove our tails if things get too crazy. And so Raditz, Gohan finally gets blasted back. Gohan! And he all of a sudden, Raditz, he sees the orb in Rad's hand. I'm sure they trained with this before. It's like, you know what to do! And then all of a sudden, Piccolo sets the energy like, what? Wait, what? And then Raditz does the... And then you add a 10 times multiplier onto Super Saiyan 2, and you get a being that goes way past Super Saiyan 3, because Super Saiyan 3 is only 4 times the multiplier. And so they just start swinging at him. He goes into Giant Piccolo, and they're now duking it out kaiju style, flashing a fifth shockwave. Finally, they crack Piccolo, nearly kill him. Just, and then as they're about to kill him, all of a sudden he rounds through, and sure enough, Goku does remove the tail. Now I'll be honest too, I can't remember. I don't believe I had Goku wish for his tail back. I don't believe in this version I did. But remind me. I'll be honest. I don't remember. Remind me if I did or not. If so, I'll retcon the fact that Goku could also have done that. He probably didn't. Brad probably said, no, we need to do it. You need to keep us in check because you're the strongest base-wise out of us. And so they start to, and they pass out. And and Goku's like, do it. Damn you, Goku. Do it. Do it! And Goku's just holding an energy blast there. And he just, it's like, no, you don't get to die. Not until our friends are back. We sadly still need the Dragon Balls. Until the day comes where we'll no longer need them, you have to live. Isn't that right, Kami? And all of a sudden, Kami's there. Indeed. And Popo's there too. He's got a jar with him. It's like, damn you, Kami. I must admit, Piccolo, I never thought you would do something so drastic. But here you are. Still, there is merit in your existence, if for no other reason than lives can be saved by it. So we will not kill you. If you were to die, so would I. Instead, you will spend the rest of your days imprisoned in prison. No. And it's not a mop him up. I'm sure they have a sealing technique of some kind, and so he gets sealed in the jar. Saying, I know just the place to put you. I'm sorry for it. Thank you, Goku. Right, everyone. Once again, I have burdened you with my problems. You shouldn't. You and this planet should not have to deal with the dirtiness of my history. It's fine, Kami. It's just if only you. There's no way you could put a rush job on those Dragon Balls. Huh? I was like, I'm afraid not. There's rules that even I are bound by. As long as, and yeah, that's the thing is that I think the Dragon initially had a limitation of how far back you could resurrect someone. Although Kami does it. Although I haven't really upgraded the Dragon Balls in some time, perhaps, and he decides to give it a try. I think what he did, I think upgrading them gives them the 2 wishes at this point, but it's still, unfortunately, the cooldown time is still going to be about 6 months. And so 6 months later, they're able to bring Trunks back. They explain what happens. They all had a good laugh about it. And Goku asks, you guys want your tails back? Reds? And go on, admittedly say they kind of feel better without it. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. All right, thanks, Shenron. He's like, very well. And so Trunks ultimately says goodbye. Says, I think my time here is done, and heads off. Meanwhile, the remaining of the 7 years come and go. Goku, I think, does ultimately reach the Super Saiyan 3 form. And we start to lead into the Buu Saga now. How will that go? Well, stay tuned to find out. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you folks next time. Oh, man. Have a good one.